Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You ain't run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I'm doing this from my phone again. Let's see who's in the chat. Oh, there's a lot of y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I see y'all on the way in. Hustler Slim, Pine Law, Rax Music, Copper Aboriginal. What up, man? Phenomenal Mexican. Be the God, Hand Dog, Jane Wayne Citizen, Anthony Bolton, Stephen C, Big Texas, December very own, salute. I'm waiting on the guest. You know, the infamous Wilder hater. But listen, you know, he's not. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. So I'm waiting on the brother. He should be here soon. He said he's setting up. So I'm trying to yeah. Everybody's still texting me. A salute to Gray Fox in that super chat. Much love. He said, when they hate, donate. I'm ahead of the curve. Hashtag bomb squads. Hashtag still till this day. Much love and appreciation, fam. I mean, listen. Melvin Harris, Bumpy Thompson, Stick and Move, salute. Ricky Samuels, salute. Jay Relic, Sean, what up? I mean, listen. Is it not boxing? It's boxing. Why shouldn't we ride for our guy? Why not? Why not? You know, I don't jump ship like everybody else. I don't cop killer, salute. Tay, good morning. Well, still 11 in the morning over here. Joe, what up? Yo, are we disappointed? Absolutely. Absolutely, we're disappointed. But Dazzling Urbanite, salute. Jamal Barbie, salute. Nobody was more disappointed than me. When we was leaving the arena, boxing MMA, salute. Devontae Moss. When we was leaving the arena, Devontae Moore said Fury cheated again. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know. Hold on. We was leaving the T-Mobile, and I left my seat and I go downstairs, and we were Diana, salute. And I'm just sitting there like, I was like mad, like what the hell, you know? And I eventually get in touch with Tay, and I'm like, yo, y'all all right? He said, D's fine, you know? But Jessica, salute. Say, yo, D's fine, you know? Then we find out a little while later, we run into his sister. We were all walking back to the MGM as a group. And she said, yeah, he broke his hand. I was like, damn. Broke his hand in the 4th round, I think. So love a lot. Look, look. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Because let me tell you my thought process. Because Tay asked me, because we're sitting down in the food court, and I wear my emotions on my face sometimes, depending on the situation. Now we all know, you know, I'm not gonna take back why I'm fighting for this man, why we fought so hard. I'm not taking that back. I stand by that because it was the right thing to do. When there's cheaters in boxing and we stand against it, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And that's anybody. Did they try and do Deontay a disservice? Yes. Is he being treated fairly by the American public? No, he's not. So I stand by that. He had to go to arbitration to get this guy to keep his word. Tyson Fury is still a cheater. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Click the link. Yeah, so look, we were here last year in February when it was just a loss. Remember? What do I always say? I always say, you know, when he lost, I went home and it was just a loss. Right? And then people started calling me and emailing me, look at this, look at this. I'm like, look. I don't want to do that. But then when you look at certain things, you're like, there's this undeniable evidence that this guy cheated. And then when you do the history, I already knew about his history. And then it became, look, why wouldn't he cheat? Look at what he's done. And here we are again. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to wait. Because what's in darkness has a habit of coming into light. But right now, what we're going to do is take our losses like men and women. Because we are better than the trolls that be in our chat, calling us niggas, saying, oh, you just support him because he's black. So what? Here we go.
Drew, what it do? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Excellent, man.
Thanks for having me on the show, baby.
Man, thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, anytime.
And if you remember when we met, the first thing I said, bro, what is your real name? So I ain't got to call you the wilder hater, because I don't like to disrespect anybody. And you got hit. You had an opinion and you got hit with a broad brush. So
yes,
let everyone know who you are.
My name is Eric Neighbors out of Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, love the sport of boxing. I bleed it. I love it, live it. I'm just here to help everybody. That's all you got to do is just ask me anything concerning boxing. I'm going to do my best to try to make it happen. I love to see the small fighters get an opportunity on the big level. So I'm always working for the small man. A lot of people don't know that. That's just my passion. I'm just here to do God's will.
That's right. That's right. So before we get started, I was just talking to the chat. I don't want to get into what could have happened. It was a fight.
Exactly.
As far as we know right now, it was clean. And I'm telling y'all, I was with Tay after the event, and Tay didn't complain. Tay was actually smiling because that's all we ever wanted was a clean fight.
Exactly.
Did Fury cheat in the first 2 fights? Yes, he did. Undeniably, he cheated. Last night, no excuses. No excuses, all right? All we wanted was a clean fight, and based off of the facts over the feelings, Tyson Fury won. Bottom line. It's still Bomb Squad this way.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
We're not jumping ship. All right. But what we are doing is we're being accountable. We're being accountable. Okay. Our guy lost. Simple. He shined in the 4th round, but let's speak honest. To love Deontay Wilder is to also tell the truth. It's to tell the truth of what we saw. So I want to ask your opinion from start to finish. What did you see this weekend?
Oh, well, I'd like to give a shout out to both fighters, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I'm happy what I saw from Deontay from the first few rounds. He definitely, all the hard work him and Malik Scott was doing to win the fight, they was looking good. He was going to the chest like you're supposed to do when somebody overweighs you 40 pounds. You're supposed to try to stop the force, and then you can come back and strike it. So I saw Deontay being conscious. He was working. He was thinking clearly, like he said. He wanted to be focused. He tried his best. And then, like I said, in the process of a fight, it's muscle memory. Sometimes when a fighter get close to you, you know, you might go back to tendencies that you've been having. And that's why it's very key that the trainers walk you through it at all times. Even if you're being successful, landing punches, you always got to remember, if you stay in the line of fire too long, it can burn you. And that's all it was. It was just Deontay not being used to, you know, winning a fight like that strategically. You know, you land shots to the chest, freeze, Fury come back, and then step out, reload again, because Fury is definitely want to take the first punch and then bull in so he can muscle you around and wear you down. But I love what I saw from Deontay, the dedication, the heart. I just hated when he was on the verge of winning the fight, he started going to the head more, and he was wasted and missing a bunch of shots. It had me in tears, and I was like, oh my God, you was doing the right things. That's all you got to do, just keep touching him to the body, keep touching him. He going to freeze up a minute, then you're going to be able to pinpoint bullseye the target. He did that one time when he clipped him and Fury legs went limbo, but it was too close. Deontay couldn't go full extension. It was just that, you know, it was just, you're not used to setting it up like that. And with Fury and my boy Jovan Hill, Sugar Hill now, that's why he kept telling him to press forward, because he knew that was going to give, because Deontay, once he started slowing down on his punch placement in the right areas, that was going to be the telling of the fight. But I'm definitely proud of Deontay for improving and all the hard work he did. He showed the guts. He definitely wanted it. He's definitely a class world champion. He definitely deserves all the respect. He has my respect, and I love what he did. And sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And I'm glad he could be able to live with that and respect that. And I think all the people, all the real haters of Deontay have more respect for him and the guts he put into that fight. You know, he had everybody on the edge of the seat. This whole trilogy been a excellent movie by the boxing god. It has a crazy storyline, the epic up and down events that went along with this fight. Man, it couldn't be better scripted. I was hurt and crushed. I wanted Deontay, not because I'm black, to win, but what I knew he could do and the process. But he still won in my heart because the transition he made. And sometimes as a fighter, that's all you want to do is transition, because this is.
Let me talk to you about transition, because that's exactly where I wanted to go. Let me read the super chat real quick.
Okay.
Shout out to Les Rivera. Salute to you, fam. He said Wilder looked just like he did second fight after 2 rounds. Weight gain was bad for stamina. We're gonna touch on that. That's a good observation. He said all out, all-time great war. Fury was in fighting shape, regardless of how he looked. And I critiqued his shape a lot. I clowned it a lot, but I critiqued it. But he had a lot of energy, and his punch resistance is pretty good. But the way he recoups after being damaged is I'll say it's impressive. And what I wanted to talk about was what no one else is going to talk about. First of all, there's a lot of noticeable things that we saw in the second fight that you didn't see in this fight. This was a different fight. So you did see the changes. This did not look like the second fight. He wasn't just getting thrown around from the opening bell. So I still stand by that. I still stand by him being drugged and things of that nature, and the glove manipulation, the dent in his head, all of that stuff. I still stand by that. Did that play a factor into this fight? Mentally, probably. I haven't spoken to him. Probably it did. I think Malik implemented a great strategy, but it's unfortunate that, remember when Fury said that when the going gets tough, he's going to resort to who he is. And we saw that as he fatigued. After the fourth round, we almost had a win in the fourth round. After the fourth round, did you notice his body language? Did you see how tired he was? What do you think the cause of that was? Because to me, he looked like, I was watching the camp closely. He looked like he was in shape. What do you think the cause of that was?
I just believe once you excited and the build up from the fight, you know, you want to win this fight so bad. So that's where your corner has to say, don't get too greedy. Don't get too overzealous. That's why certain trainers used to have to always tell fighters, because they know they'll shoot they low because they think they see the target. But that's why it was very important that Deontay always go for the chest and the shoulders area, because you don't want to waste no punches against Fury, because that's all he want to do is come in to Deontay. Deontay would have been able to hold his own if they would have just stayed on the outside. But with Fury, he want to get inside and wrestle him and wear him out with the fatigueness. But that's why it was very important that Malik Scott, I don't know what they were saying in the corner, was telling him, just calm down, shoot the right hand to the chest. Sometimes don't even throw punches, because D kept coming, but he was missing. He was too anxious. So that kind of fatigue a fighter. So that's what Malik was supposed to say. We got 12 rounds. We got to get him. We got to make sure we keep this big guy in punching range before we can get him, because that's how we're going to clip him and get him out of there. And then once D clipped him a couple of times, hit him with a good shot, the hook was going over and he was missing and he was standing too straight up, different things of that nature. It was just a technique flaw, and he's excited. He wants this fight so bad. So when you do that, you can spend a lot of energy. So it's very critical. That's where the trainer was supposed to, no, don't get greedy. We won that round. It was a close round. Let's take the next one. That's
he had
what
better
comes
cardio. He had better cardio, it seemed. He had better cardio in the very first fight. But also in the very first fight, Fury wasn't leaning on him like that. And my concern from the beginning was, when Fury has to do that, when he chose to do that, D had to be slick on his feet. A lot of movement. You have to understand, you're the power puncher, but this is the bigger guy. So that's where the footwork comes in. And once they got into the mix, what he was supposed to do is just simply turn him. That's all leverage. You don't even have to use a lot of strength with that. When he's leaning on you, go back. If you're in a headlock, he did it one time. We had him in a headlock, lean on him, go to the ground and take a knee. Just sit down for a minute and wait for the ref to say, okay, get up. Do it every time. You ain't got to push back. That's energy. When he leans down on you, go to the knee. When he's leaning on you in the ropes, just throw your hands up like this. You know, make the ref separate you. Let him do the work. You understand? And there was a lot of after the second, I saw he was very fatigued. The technical flaws started to show his face again. And this is simply a case right now. Now, again, don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? It's bomb squad all day, but to love Deontay is also to tell the truth. And he wouldn't want it any other different. Okay? If he's not complaining and Tay Jones ain't complaining, then that's what it is. You understand? But regardless, we know what we saw. Like we know what we saw in the previous two fights. We can say we know what we saw in this fight. Real quick, let me shout out to the real Top Cat. Salute, fan. What's good? You appreciate the meetup and much love. Yeah, that's a good brother right there. Salute to you. Salute to you, brother. For real, that's a good brother. In the heat of the moment, there were some things that I missed. I heard there was a long count after the knockdown, and I think I heard Andre Ward mentioned it. Of course, I was in the audience. I didn't hear the commentary. Look, family, Fury's a cheater. Fury's a cheater. Was there some fugazi stuff going on in the ring? We won't know until something is said. But I'm dealing with the news as we're dealing with it right now, real time. Like how I dealt with it last year. I said, look, my guy lost. He has to go to the drawing board and do something else. As far as I know, this chapter between them is closed. All right? And we just have to accept what's happening. It's called being accountable. All right? So I wanted to ask you, E, like, be successful if he was
Say
going
that
to.
again.
But before you
Say that again,
real
Drew,
quick.
my segment.
Oh, my bad. Salute to Robert Singleton, that super chat. He said tough loss, but Wilder will always be champ. No doubt, man. He ain't losing no love this way. He ain't losing no love. You know, I see all of your comments, bro. I'm gonna try and get to all of them because you're not wrong. But E, I want to ask you, what could he have done better to be successful in this bout, in your opinion?
Well, like I said, when you find a guy that's heavier than you, the trainer has to understand, the trainer and the fighter, Deontay was supposed to understand, the typical only way that Tyson Fury can beat him is, okay, coming in, if he just going outside box with D, you saw in the first fight, it went the distance. D knocked him down. D can handle himself on the outside with him without him bullying and doing the roughhouse tactic. So Maligna was supposed to understand, okay, Wilder, we got to place the shots correctly to slow a big man down because our punching power is accountable for his weight, because if we hit him, we're going to freeze him. He wasn't coming straight in once D was touching him with good shots. It will hold him just back a little bit, but D has to sometimes pick it up like a more quicker pace. The walking, D was walking him back, and you got to keep separation. Like you said, you got to pivot out angles because that side that put that dent in it is a soft side for Wilder. It seemed like it.
Now because
once he hit him, it knocked off his equilibrium, and then once he stopped him, it was the same side. I'm thinking it was, yeah. So Wilder has to understand, and Malik Scott, positioning is key. You know, so sometimes you square up with him, you push him back, give angles, and that's going to give you just enough time to keep that separation from the big guy just overwhelming you. Because the big guy, that's all he wants you to do is throw a punch and overwhelm you with weight and strength and try to rustle you and do those type of things. But D was supposed to have been punching, you know, with power to the body like he was doing for those first couple rounds. He was looking good. And like I said, when you do those type of things as Deontay, because he has power to equal up to the weight disparity, that helps him out. But his foot movement, that's why I wanted Mayweather, even though they was beefing, to come in with foot placement. People like that who can help him with transitioning his weight. because those things are very key. Those little basic. D didn't, like Malik said, D didn't need a lot of, transformation. He just needed certain things to really take him to the top level. And those were the things that Sugar Hill and Tyson Fury exposed to him. Those were the things that I was saying, because if you turning, stopping, feints, it takes him a time to reload. That's why I call it a shotgun. It ain't a semi-automatic. He needed to pick up the pace just a little bit. So those the basic little fundamentals that if he ever get those right, in my opinion, he will beat Tyson Fury. He would beat all the top heavyweights because they can't get away from him. And they got to walk into the line of fire. So that's why I always knew that he could do it.
Yeah, Deontay's such a good natural athlete, man. And he covers a lot of distance, with his speed, his natural ability, his speed, and he's a very powerful guy. But I think he just met Malik Scott as a trainer too late. Yeah, that's a possibility. If Mark Breland was teaching what Malik was teaching him, Deontay, we really wouldn't be having this conversation right now because the foot placement would be there.
Yeah.
And like I said, there might be a mental thing. He got away from I don't know, maybe his punch resistance. It's not there, man. The punch resistance is not there. Like it was last fight. Let me get to the super chat real quick. Salute the T Plums. I met this brother yesterday. He said, tough outing last night, still bomb squad all the way. It was good meeting you and some of the brothers yesterday as well, man. Shout out to you, T Plums, man. I mean, tough, man. It's tough, but this is boxing. You understand? Yeah. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I had a little hiccup right here. Got away from it, and then he got tired. He got away from it, then he got tired. I was like, damn, he's gassed already. Yeah, the stamina was definitely an issue. I noticed it was definitely an issue. Yeah, a lot of people saying that the confidence wasn't there. A lot of people are saying, whatever was wrong with him showed his face. You can't, and there was things that I saw. It got to the point where when he was tired, everything was predictable. The jab, the 1-2, you saw it coming. There was times where Fury would just slap the jab out the way and it was turn D's entire body. That's fatigue right there. Yeah. That's bad fatigue, and it looked worse than what it was. And he wasn't. Every time Tyson Fury walked forward, he would like hit him with a jab, and D would just like step back. Not even step back. He would like stumble back, and it would look like he was waiting for the next punch to come. And I'm like, move, just move to the side, man. But when you're fatigued, what you want to do and what you can do are two different things. It's not registering. And he was just tired. He was just fighting on instinct. And at that point, I was like, yo, bro, he just got to land something in this goddamn thing. But let's say he got Fury out in the 4th round. Let's say there was a minute left and he dropped him again that 3rd time. That's the rule. That's ball game. 3 times, run round, it's over with. I can tell you that I still wouldn't be satisfied with that win because I saw enough of the flaws. And they would have to go back to the drawing board and fix that. So what I'm saying is you got to fail forward. Where does he go with this loss? I don't know. I haven't spoken to anybody yet. Do you think it's too late for him to implement what him and Malik has been working on in a whole year? Before you answer that, though, let me get to the super chat. Salute to Mr. Punch Out. He's asking me, do I think Wilder overtrained? No, he was in shape. They took the proper pauses when need be. They were doing the arbitration thing. He was healthy. I just think that it is possible for a fighter to age 5 years after a fight. And he took enough damage in that second fight to, in my opinion, probably make him second think once he got hit in those spots. Oh shit, is it happening again? You understand? That, you know, that really plays a part. But I don't know. I'm just still floored. Listen, I'm keeping it honest with you. This loss hurts, man. I'm keeping it honest. I didn't want this. Salute to Prada Pierre. He said Wilder made three key mistakes. Three key mistakes he made. One, letting Tyson lean on him. Two, circling to Tyson's right hand with his chin in the air. Yes. Three, he kept bringing the lead foot back first to move. Lead back first to move back, and that's not good. I know what you're saying, Prada. I know what you're saying. Going backwards. He was going back in a straight line. Boxing 101, that's a no-no. He was going back in a straight line. I was in the seat screaming, "What's up?" He was going back in a straight line. And again, for those of you that's been in the boxing ring and have been tired, what's going on in here, depending on how fatigued you are, it's not registering here sometimes. It's not registering. You want to move, but it's like, everything is in slow motion. And I noticed at the end of the second round, I looked up at the monitor and I said, why is he breathing like that? I said, what the hell? Then it got progressively worse. He ran out of gas. He ran out of gas. Now, I don't know what that's about. And I could be wrong. I don't know what happened. You know, there were some things that me and Tay spoke about. I'll leave that to Tay to discuss with you guys. You know, that's something else. But what you do in camp sometimes shows its face in the ring. And what we're talking about now, we're not talking about Fury the Cheetah. We all know that. We're not talking about the trolls. We know that they're going to be here. That's fine. What we're talking about is the mechanics. Why D lost? That's what we're talking about. Differentiate the two, because what we're talking about, what does Blue Blood always say? Facts over feelings. So that's what we're talking about. There was a lot of things that he did technically wrong. But I do appreciate that he made those changes, man. Let me read this. Salute to the African Sci-Fi Scholar. He said, salute. Seems like Wilder never got his foot balance and agility back from the last fight. That agility and speed we saw against Stavern is gone. Yes, it looks. Look, man. There's a possibility. Hey, do you think that second fight, may have affected the rest of his career?
Yes, it did. It affected him because it had to bring about change. It had to break, not pride, but, you know, when a fighter is undefeated and then he loses, he has to get humble. And then the matter that he had lost, you know, it changes them. It changes their invincibility to now some of them might rethink themselves. Like people were saying why he was quiet, you know, it was affecting him. You know, me, I wanted him to be Deontay no matter what. I want him to be that. Talk, bomb squad, be loud. If you know, just be you. If you talking different, acting different, you know, it affected you, in my opinion. And it did. So, but with the skills that he had and the talent and the power that he has and the dedication and the heart that he has, I always gave him a chance. He just had to get the technical flaws together. And that's why he lost, in my opinion. The technical flaws beat him. Not because of the heart or the second fight. It was just that, because he was in it. He was definitely in it. The first 2 rounds, he got knocked down, got clipped. That might have hurt him, that equilibrium. But he still showed you the heart of a champion, a warrior that he said he is. He showed everybody that. He took punches, gave them. But his technique, if his technique was better, I just believe it would have been a different story. And plus, some things are just meant by the boxing guys, too. That's why it's always best when you're working with a fighter You always have to understand who you fighting and what they can bring to the table. That's the first time. That's the first thing you break down when you're dealing with a fighter. You
Yep.
got to understand, how can he beat you? He can beat you because of your flaws, or he gonna beat you because he's better than you. In my opinion, Deontay lost because of his flaws. That's how I look at it, because I always knew what he can do. He wouldn't have been a 10-time defensive person if he wasn't that, if he wasn't good. He is good, but he just met somebody. He just met somebody on a higher boxing IQ. Emmanuel Stewart said it. You know, when he sat down and gave that interview years ago, he mentioned Tyson, then he said Deontay. So he knew what was there in him. It was just the flaws, the rawness. It's just like when Tommy was younger. He was raw, power, and that's how Sugar and them out-tricked him. Sugar and Angelo Dundee out-tricked Manuel Stewart and Tommy. The same type of mechanism. Tall, lanky fighter with great power, stay behind the 1-2. He lost because of that. But once they sharpened up their IQ as far as the science of boxing, they was able to, you know, win fights that they was supposed to. So that's all it is with Deontay Wilder. And plus, I wanted him, before he got back in this trilogy with Tyson Fury, I had wanted him to fight the other fighters just to get that edge off of him. Because sometimes when you have that edge, it affects you night and day. For damn near 2 years, he was thinking about this. All the comments, all this, even though he said he wasn't paying attention to it, it was in him. It was all over the place. So fighters have to, they're human. So they definitely want to be able to get back into a real live situation to see how to breathe in and different things. Like me, if I do an interview, I want to do so good. It's like I'm fighting. I get, you know, I get excited. You know, I had to calm down a little bit. So it definitely plays a part. So I know the key that it affects people. So just imagine if I'm in there throwing hands. If I'm not properly mentally prepared, you know, it could overwhelm me. Tyson used to say, I get so nervous, you know, it could have fatigued me. You know what I'm saying? It could have, you know, I want this. He kept saying he wanted bad. So those are critical points that, you know, as like you said, if you've been in the gym, you know this comes out. So it's very important. But I still salute Deontay for the improvements and everything. So me is no love loss or anything. You know, it's just boxing. You win and you lose. But he definitely won because he definitely was improving. So he definitely could be happy about that.
I know people hanging head. He's not going to medal.
He's not what? Oh, we hitting the hiccup.
You can hear me?
Yeah, what'd you say?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Turn that off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you clear. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I said, you know, he's not the type of person that hangs head about nothing.
Oh, okay.
You know?
That's good.
You know, he's it's a loss.
Yes.
And he meant what he said. If this is not gonna be faint for the heart, he wants to go out on the shield. And his family understands he has a job and you could lose your life in that. And if you don't like it, go home. Don't watch. And he stands on that, you know, and he meant what he said, man. That was hurt. That hurt me to see him go down like that. It really did. You know, it really did. Because of everything else surrounding the situation.
Exactly.
You know, so, you know, without getting into that, you know, I wanted this win for him.
I did too.
For more than one reason. 1994, when Scottie Pippen took over being the head guy of the Bulls, I wanted that win for him so he could say, yo, look, I just did that without Mike. All right, I am a guy. I'm for real. I'm not just Mike's shadow. I'm an actual top 50 all-time player.
Yeah.
And Hugh Holland's robbed him of that against the Knicks, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But let me get to this super chat. African Sci-Fi Scholar says, unfortunately, even his inner ear was bleeding again. Hopefully, not permanent, reoccurring injuries, and that's another thing. I think that these injuries, man, these injuries can be reoccurring. You know, I saw it on the screen. I said, "What the hell's wrong with his ear again? His ear again, man." That might be something that heals up, but you just got to touch it a few times. Salute the champ side in the building. I see you, brother. You know, this might be a situation where now it's a target. The punch resistance, the nerve in the neck. Every time he got hit, it right here, he was like bobbling all over the place. I said, "Damn, man, it's a tender area now." They repaired the dent in his head, but now it's a tender area now. So based off of these things, if your punch resistance is gone and he's now easy to hit, it might be a situation where he might have to consider just hanging it up for safety reasons now.
Yeah.
I mean, what we can say is that he lost to the best in the world. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that. You understand? But this is what it took. It took him to get cheated, and now he has these soft spots. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm standing by that. He has these soft spots now because of what this guy did last fight. But the damage is what the damage is. You understand? Look, life ain't fair. Nothing's perfect. But I do believe in the universe. You get what you put out. All of this is happening for a reason. All of this is happening for a reason. Let me salute to Jason in that super chat. He said Wilder went to war with a big guy who is a technical boxer. He's the only boxer that can do that to Fury. Boxing is an art. True. He said we can expect Wilder to dominate the number one. We can't expect Wilder to dominate the number one heavyweight in boxing camp with Scott. I mean, look, I think like what you were saying earlier, Eric, the footwork was the key. But fatigue set in, and what good is your footwork when you're tired? It's non-existent. Salute to Prada Pierre back in that super chat. He said, "I love the jab to the body he threw in the first 4 rounds. It set up the 1-2 that dropped Fury. Fury looked bad, to be honest. I think Usyk beats Fury with speed. I know Usyk ain't going to stay in one position. He's going to give a lot of lateral movement. What I'll also say is the stiff jab to the body became predictable. And I thought that Fury was downloading data in the first couple of rounds, which made him to smother D's work. He started to smother Deontay's work, and he actually smothered his own work. And he also, that first knockdown, that wasn't fatigue, that was strategy. You go back and look at it, man, that was strategy, and it was well placed. It was well placed, man. And I want you guys to understand, this is 100% facts over feelings, because I don't like talking about this. My guy lost. My guy lost. But I am the truth. I only know one way to tell it, man. And I don't like the outcome. But there's no getting around what we saw. Now, if some nonsense comes about, I'll address that later. But right now, we're discussing what happened, what we saw. Our guy lost. That's it. Let's deal with the facts. There were technical flaws. He ran out of gas. I didn't see the lateral movement. He was going back in a straight line. Every time he got touching the soft spot, he got hurt. He got hurt. Maybe he wasn't feeling the punches in the first 2 fights, but he felt them last night. And that's because maybe that damage in the second fight, once it settled in, always, somebody look on your body. You might have a scar that you had gotten from 10 years ago. Get hit there again. Get hit there again and see what happens. It might open back up. Your thoughts, E? I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was listening to you. Yeah, that definitely could be an issue because, like you said, once you get a soft spot, a sweet spot, and plus that's a dangerous spot over there, your equilibrium, your
Yeah.
ear. So that's a real tender spot. So, with training camp and different things in there, and Malik Scott as a former boxer, that's why you wanted to have different targets for Wilder. They're hitting him, making sure he's stepping around, pivoting around, protecting that area or whatever. So it definitely had to, you have to understand all that. And that plays a part in the fight. And a lot of fighters target stuff like that, especially if you've been talking about it was a dent, they had to reconstruct whatever they had to do to it. So definitely. So a lot of times fighters get beat because of, the lack of knowledge or the guidance from the trainer, different things. With war, you have to understand every aspect of you losing and winning a fight. And that's all it was with Deontay. It was just that. He just got outsmarted. A lot of punchers get outsmarted because, like when Marvelous Hagler fought Tommy Hearns, he pressured him. He ate a couple big punches like Tyson Fury did, but he got in the inside, made him open up, wrestled him, wore him down. So that's the art of boxing when you fight those style of matchup. So those are, Malik them supposed to went back to that and train for that because they know he coming like a locomotive, like Fury kept saying, I'm a bulldozer. So you have to be able to move and keep that separation, different things of that nature to keep your man at bay so he can get that extension to make Fury pay for it. But, in the rounds he didn't do it, you saw what happened. And that's all it is, just small little details. If Wilder continues, he has to work on that. But a lot of the other fighters, he won't have to worry about that because they're too small and they have to walk into the line of fire for him. If he's still the same Wilder that we know, he has definitely good fights if he continues his career on the PBC side. So he wouldn't have to worry about that. But on that top echelon, you got to be able to pivot off and give more than just one punch and stuff like that. Plus, I like him when his weight is down. You can't worry about if a guy is more bigger than you. The art of defense, because some like MMA guys and the great ones who have technique, they can overweight or play on somebody's weight disparity because they know he's going to come forward. So that's why you got to keep the distance and quickness to be able to smack him with a good shot.
He was supposed to dog walk Tyson Fury, man. He was supposed to take him on a walk.
Yeah.
He was supposed to make that big fat dude walk his ass around the ring. Last night, Deontay was to be working off a lot of feints and make it a boxing match. Pop the jab, lateral movement, make Tyson chase him. Yeah. Take him into deep water, drown him in 11th and 12th.
Yeah.
You don't fight the force with the force. I know you're a strong guy, but he was supposed to box last night. He was supposed to fight the fight that Fury fought in the first fight. On your toes, side to side, in and out, taunt him, make him frustrated. And then when he comes in, then you crack him. I think now D might understand now that, yo, man, every time I get touched here, something ain't right. It's not like it was for 42 fights. It's different now. So if I'm going to continue, I'm going to have to do some different things. And what you said about, when I first heard Floyd Mayweather, I said, that ain't going to work. But now you look at it and it's like, maybe Floyd could have shown him how to do different things. I know they don't get along, which is why that never worked out.
Yeah.
I think Malik is smart enough to assess that and work on that, or bring somebody into the camp, because Floyd ain't the only person that can do it. Bring somebody else in the camp to make him do it. But at this point, it's about whether Deontay wants to move forward or not. Let me get this super chat real quick. Shout out to Prada Pierre back in that super chat. Much love, brother. He says fatigue made Wilder telegraph his attacks. I saw that from where I was sitting. I'm like, I see them coming from here. Is he going to switch or, and then when he just got tired, it was all over with. And salute to my sis, Diana Branch. She said, we love Deontay, and I don't want to see him getting hit in the head no more. Life is beautiful. I want him here to enjoy his family. And you see, this is the other side. This is the other side. It might be, and salute to you, Diana, when we get back to New York, you know, we're gonna get up. And your son is a prince of a person, man. Her son is a doctor.
Wow.
Met him yesterday, man. Great kid, man. Great kid. Very, very respectful, very professional. And you make sure he chooses his mate wisely. You know, there's a lot of hounds out here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that he sustained a lot of damage in that second fight. And although it could heal to the point where he can live a normal life, it won't be normal in boxing. It won't be normal in boxing. All right. So what do you think is next for him? Salute to Bernard Mack in that super chat. Much love. He says something was up with Wilder, tired in the third. Bro, we're trying to figure it out. If anything, we're trying to figure it out. If anything, because that to me, the only thing we can say now is maybe that 238 was too big for him. Because I know if in the first Fury fight, he ate harder punches in like sometime during that fight, he ate harder punches in the exchange. And at 208, his resistance was there. Like, okay, you hit me. The second fight, I don't care what anyone says, the gloves was loaded and he was drugged. But the damage is done. The damage is done. So now he has no punch resistance. Well, he don't have the same punch resistance. So with that being said, I'm asking everybody, are y'all comfortable with him moving forward? Hey, are you comfortable with him moving forward? You think he can still make some noise?
Yes, I believe Deontay, because when he left out, he seemed like he was in good spirits. You know, he accepted the better man, the technique. He probably could be proud of himself. And plus, you have to look at if he continued the style of matchup against him. If we look at the PBC side, you got Andy Ruiz, a short fighter. If D stay behind the jab and the straight right hand, I don't see Andy beating him. You got Adam Konowski, who got the mess beat out of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was bad. I felt sorry for Adam Konowski. Hopefully he's all right. Adam can't beat him because he comes straight forward into D's power. So D wouldn't have had no, in my opinion, have no issues. And then Robert Helena, you know, they've been sparring. That would be a good, plus he's old as D, older. And his style, I think Deontay are taking. So that'll be a good matchup. They sparred each other. D probably was getting good work. Yeah, so D was getting good work. And then we have who else on the PBC side that he ain't
not King Jabba took his top rank.
Yeah. So
he looked bad.
Me, I was just looking at it. Yeah, he did. No fundamentals, using his jab, waiting too long, letting the little man move him off points.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I had predicted he was going to win because he was sparring Jared Anderson. Jared is the same type of style fighter, height-wise, as Frank Sanchez. So that was kind of shocking right there.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Frank Sanchez is not a small guy. I stood right next to him.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't stared, but he walked right by me. And I said, man, Frank is like, what, 6'4"?
Yeah, 6'4", weighed like 240 or 250. Big, solid
bigger guy than me.
Yeah, he definitely was. So me, if D want to continue, I don't see no issues over there. And if he does, I wanted to be under Bomb Squad Promotions and, get the money, clean up this last little money. And then if AJ beat Usyk, I'm predicting AJ beat Usyk in the rematch like he did Andy Ruiz. And then maybe he can just go for that one. That's the table to clean off, in my opinion.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because I definitely want to touch on that. Loud Boy says, salute to you in that super chat. He says, I watched the Jack Johnson documentary after, and it made me even more proud of Wilder. Bomb Squad for life, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And we were on the cuffs of that, that sort of thing, man. But unfortunately, life is what it is. And salute to Prada Pierre back in that super chat. Much love and appreciation, man. He said, I'm proud of D. He made history and plenty of money for his family. He accomplished goals past anyone's expectations. Boxing is not easy at all. And that right there, that's real because he's been fighting against the grain his entire career. You ain't get a gold, you got a bronze, but he was the only boxer to get a medal in 2008. All right, I don't like your style. You're not going to, then he starts making money. Oh, you're the brokest heavyweight in the world. He went from that to being the face of boxing. And he still can't get no love. People just can't accept him for what he is and say, oh, look, I like the guy. He's high impact, high action. I don't think he's the best. And this is what people are telling me. I don't think he's the best. But they can't say, I don't think he's the best, but I just want to see him in the ring. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everyone complains. Oh, the Klitschko's, they're so boring. 1-2 hug. Get him out of there. And here you finally have an American champion that risks life and limb. He'll risk getting hit to land his one punch because he has so much faith in his power. And he's not appreciated. So I can't make people appreciate it. I can't make people understand why we rode for him so hard, the racial aspect behind this. I can't make you. I'm not having that conversation. I had that conversation last night on Instagram with a buddy of mine. I swear to God, I'm not having that conversation ever again. Because if you niggas want to stay in that little river in Africa, you know, denial, stay your ass there. Stay your ass right there. I'm not talking that shit with y'all anymore. All right? Stay in your lane. Because as a black man right now, all right, for you to behave that way towards Deontay Wilder and saying, hey, man, I just keep it boxing. Hey, man, yeah, all lives matter. Remember that. When we said Black Lives Matter and they said all lives matter, think about how you felt. Think about how you felt. Don't undermine what we're going through. We didn't say Black Lives Matter only. We're saying our lives matter also. Why are we being treated this way? That's all we're saying. And then someone says, oh, well, Black lives don't matter. All lives matter. Yeah. Duh. We matter too. That's what we were saying. So when you say, when I'm saying, yo, look, I'm riding for Wilder because of what they did to him. Well, you know, I'm just keeping it boxing. I'm just keeping boxing. Yeah, I'm going to keep it boxing, sir. All right, well, you keep it boxing. I'm not talking to niggas like that no more. Take your ass with Groot and Gamora and get your ass back on that rocket ship and go fight Thanos, Rocket Raccoon. Don't talk to me. I'm not having that conversation ever again. The hell with y'all. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, salute my screen folks. I'm going to go ahead and keep talking. Salute to Stephen Lamar Hawkins in that super chat. He said, check what I sent you. Andre Ward was right. All right. I'll do that. Damn, my screen is frozen like a motherfucker. I don't know what's going on here. But talk to me about what AJ needs to do to beat Usyk and if he's capable of doing so.
Well, AJ just had to fight like a big man. You know, with him, when you fighting a small guy, if he's quicker than you, that Usyk was doing to AJ. AJ never fully extended as a big man, like how Fury did Wilder as a big man. Even if the guy landing punches on you, you have to come in and smother him. AJ has to smother Usyk. He has to believe in his physicality, his bigness. He has to use that. If he used that and then use the power jab, because once AJ touched him, it was busting Usyk up a little bit. So I know AJ can do it. So it's just the right technique. And it just seemed like that fight, and just like the Andy Ruiz fight for AJ, they never followed the script of the science of the boxing. Use your jab right hand as a big man. Come forward or whatever. He didn't use none of that. He was throwing punches up close to Andy. That's why Andy was able to clip him on the side of the head. Usyk throwing looping punches. So AJ was supposed to come forward and make Usyk fight him. And then I believe AJ would have been successful. But I know he's going to be successful in January or February against Usyk. So that would be a perfect fight later down the year if Deontay continues to fight against if he continue his career against AJ, will be a good fight. So in my opinion, AJ will be the second best, or then they might set up him and Tyson Fury. So Deontay might have to wait a while. Yeah, because once AJ beat Usyk, in my opinion, so him and Tyson Fury will definitely have to get it on. The unify the belts. Yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, I think that's how to play out. And then Deontay, if he's going to continue his career, he got Andy, and him and Malik Scott could definitely work on the fundamental technical stuff that they need to do when they fight big guy. But small guys, I think Deontay should be able to handle them with no problem.
Yeah, I agree. I had to reset my screen real quick. Let me read the super chat. Salute to my brother Bernard Mack. He said, I love Deontay, but it hurt to see him in that shape. I never seen the champ like he has been in the last 2 fights. No credit to Fury. He's cheat forever. And you know what, bro? You're right, man. You're right. Listen, that cheating nonsense, I'm never gonna let that go. It happened. It happened, man. I'm never gonna let that go. That's what I'm saying. And listen, again, I wear my emotions on my face, man. And they kept looking at me like, yo, you good? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not good. You know what I'm saying? I think I took the loss harder than anybody in the damn camp. And I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm like, yo, I'm not good. I'm not good. But that's how much I ride for Deontay. Salute to Joe Burns in that super chat. Much love, man. He said, from a bear truck to 10 defense, Wilder solidified. Exactly. We almost didn't get this guy. He just started fighting because his child was sick. How many people can say they can do that stuff, man? And this sport is not for the faint of heart. And let me say this. I'm going to salute the British fans that were there at the event. There was no problems. Yeah. They were classy. They were just simply there rooting for their guy. That's it. There was one guy, got a little drink in him, and, bum squad, whatever, but it was just him. When I tell you it was just him, everybody else that was with him were laughing at him and pointing. Hey, look at him. This is what happens when you get a little drink in him. And we all got friends like that. You can't take this nigga nowhere type of dude. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, oh boy, who invited Chuck? You know he gonna get drunk. But the next day I saw him on fight night. He was a different guy. Came up, shook my hand, wanted to take a picture and all that. Salute to the UK fans that were already here that was able to make the fight. There were no problems. Those are not the people. And I keep telling y'all, these trolls, they're not the majority. They're just annoying. They're like the gnats around when you're trying to eat your dinner. And they're like, you're trying to eat outside. And they're like, that's all the trolls are. The UK fans that were there, they didn't suck their teeth at you. They ain't call you out your name. They ain't do that. They were cats. There was a family. One of the kids recognized me. Well, I call him a kid, but big dude. And he wanted a picture. And I'm like, all right. And they just took a picture. The picture's gonna pop up somewhere. You're gonna see me standing there like, it was crazy. But he was there with his mom, his little brother, and totally respectful. So I see the trolls. Again, you guys are not the majority. I met real supporters from the UK. I actually met them this weekend. You're doing them a disservice. The guy I sat next to, he was rooting for Fury, but we had a conversation. It was respectful. There was no reckless eyeballing, and that's it. He was rooting for his guy, and I was rooting for my guy. We had an educated conversation about AJ and what he needs to do, and how he's upset that AJ dropped the ball because he did not want Usyk to get that title. And he says, AJ upset me, and we just have to go back to the drawing board. So trolls, you're not the majority. I can say that. Salute to my brother Anwar Willis. He said, had a great time meeting up with you and the fam. Still bomb squad to this day. All love, salute family. It's still F Fury, and I stand by that. Oh yeah, it's still F Fury. He's a cheater. But you know what? We're adults. and we tell the truth over here. All right. And D lost, man. And it hurts like hell. It hurts like hell. But we have to find out what he needs to do and should he continue. We always want him safe. We want all fighters, not just him, but we want all fighters safe, which is why the cheating drove me crazy. You don't have to do that. If he could have won clean, we wouldn't be here. If he did this clean back in February, we wouldn't be here. You understand? We probably would be talking about undisputed. He probably would have fought AJ on August 14th. You understand? It's Tyson Fury that put all of this with the games and arbitration and loaded gloves. This is the rhythm with him. This is why I still say he's bad for the sport. But we're just talking about last night. Salute to Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. He said, salute, hit the like button. Yeah, hit my like button, man. We're talking boxing. We're talking boxing here, and we're being brutally honest, no matter how it is, man. If salute to Prada Pierre in that super chat again. Much love and appreciation. He said AJ beats Fury if he goes back to pre-Ruiz 1, AJ 100. And salute to my brother, General Squirrels. He said, Eric, we might have to change your name. You're not the Wilder hater no more after your performance today. Salute to you, the truth, and my people.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, General. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It was just a saying, like I said, I had always had love for Wilder. I've been to so many of his fights. And I love boxing, period. No matter what race, color, creed you are.
Right.
I'm going to support it and love it, for the love unconditional of it. So I usually don't really hate on fighters. I just see boxing on a different level. Plus, when I used to have fight parties, Drew, I always was arguing with the TV, my homies. Man, he ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. Man, they'll just get me because the guy lost. And I never accepted a loss like that because I always knew the guy ain't even throwing punches. He ain't even turning. He ain't even doing this. But they didn't ever understand that part of boxing. So that's why they always perceived me as whatever they did. I never took it offensive because anybody that knows my track record, even in my hometown, people I helped here was calling me a hater because I knew the other fighters that they fought. I wasn't telling them secrets, but, they respected my IQ because a lot of them I knew and helped them and stuff like that. So and the truth will come out. Like you said, whenever you do something good or constant about it, people will see you for who you are, whether you're a good guy or bad guy. And I choose to do God's work. All my work is God's work, in my opinion.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I like this comment by KMG33 UK. He said, respect to my US brothers. Even though your man lost, you still got Wilder's back. If that was the other way around, certain sections would have turned their back on him. And that's correct. Because once AJ lost, I got on YouTube just to see what the atmosphere was like. You want to talk about jumping ship? Now, see, here's the difference. I said, AJ's okay, but he's not. The hype don't match the skill set. That's all I said. And it escalated from there. So down the road, the Ruiz fight happens, and there was some controversy behind that too. I already spoke on it. I'm not going to revisit it. Then the Usyk situation happens. And it's more of a I told you so type of thing. Mm-hmm. Sort of like what people are doing to us now. We told you. Fine. Fine. But here's the difference. I'm still riding for my guy. Whatever he decides to do, I'm going to ride with him. A lot of these other guys, they abandoned AJ bad. That's bad. Now, what I think AJ needs to do, my opinion, AJ needs to come over here and pick one. Ronnie Shields, Derek James, Malik Scott, pick one. But he needs to get his ass over here and add to what he already knows. Add to it. Because AJ has this skill set, right? He has a skill set. Fine. Add to it now. Because what he did with Usyk It's not going to work if he goes in there again. McCracken is a great coach, but he took him as far as he can go. A great coach also understands his limitations. So what he needs to do is add to that and say, look, I need to bring my guy to another level because what I'm doing, what we did, you saw what happened. And that was another thing of not being able to think outside the box. AJ got hit with 2 or 3 left hands in the first round. And I said, when was the last time? I can't think of the last time I seen Floyd get hit with the same punch twice in a fight. He got clocked by Mosley, and he was on rubber legs. And then Mosley threw a wild punch that landed back here and almost knocked him down. That was it. Mosley lost the rest of the fight. That's thinking outside the box. So far, I haven't seen AJ be able to do it. I haven't seen Deontay be able to do it. We've seen Tyson Fury be able to do it. So as it stands right now, and family, I am not happy to say that, but it's true. This guy's the king of the division. He's the king of the division right now. And I can't stand that. I can't stand that you say that. But since we're talking open and honest, because you see, trolls, you're incapable of doing what I do. You can't. You can't do it. Had we won last night, if Fury gets stopped in that 4th round, I'm still partying. I don't go to bed. I'm still partying. And you guys are disappearing off of my chat. Instead of jumping in the comment section, you know, with monkey emojis and all of this insecure stuff that you do. I know who you are. But who you are not who your people are, because I met them yesterday. They're still here, taking pictures with me. I met them yesterday. So how y'all feel? I feel good. I don't feel like accomplished because my guy lost, but I feel good at who we are. And I don't mind talking boxing. D lost, but it's okay. It's okay. He's fine. He's not like laid up in the hospital, beat up. Listen, check this out. I gotta go to work Tuesday. D don't. It's hard to feel sorry for a millionaire, right? That sounds petty. But you get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you guys need to stop. Talk boxing, man. And that's what we're having a conversation with. Let me get to this super chat. He said, Drake Lemonade, salute to you in that super chat, man. Much love. He said, Wilder went out like a badass. And I agree, it hurts like hell. Had trouble sleeping because I was worried about him. Yeah, that was another thing. He fought for us. Yes, indeed. Hashtag bomb squad all day. And salute to my brother Paragon of Principles. He says, I couldn't even sleep. Too many mixed emotions. I feel you, bro. Dude, I was sitting in the food court. Me, Blue Blood, Tay, Diana Branch's son, who else was it? Carolina Ryder was there with his people, and they all looked at me like, yo, you good? I'm like, nah. I knew I had to eat. I didn't want to eat. Come on, man. I was in my feelings last night. I'm still kind of in my feelings right now. I'm just being honest, man. How many people can be honest like that? I'm being honest because this is boxing. This is what we go through. Salute to DOG. 18 months off. No huffing and puffing. Hell no. Hey, bro, I know where you're going. But let me explain to you where I'm at with this. Last year, and salute to Pine Law in that super chat. He says, salute to the truth, and Eric, heavyweight division would be different if AJ accepted 50 mil. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, salute, Tony. I see you, brother. Yeah, it is. It is, bro. Salute to Tony's Reviews. Everyone go subscribe to Tony's Reviews. Eric, do you remember I ran into, yo, respect to you, KMG. Respect, fam. I know the trolls don't represent you, for real. I met real UK fans this weekend. They were all cool with me. waving flags and everything. But hey, buddy, how you doing? I ain't got no problem with them. The trolls, you've been outed again. Again, you've been outed again. I love it. But I ran into Antonio Tarver Friday. And I walked up to him. I said, bro, I'm going to share a story with you that I've been wanting to share since that fateful day. And he smiled. And I told him the story about the night when he fought Roy Jones, the second time. It was my boy's birthday. And we threw something for him at my house. Had the hot wings and the fries and a big old birthday cake. And Roy was supposed to dominate Antonio that night. You just knew it was going to happen because he had time to get back into light heavyweight because he drained from John Ruiz and he didn't have his wind. So the fight comes on. Round one, clearly a Roy Jones round. He's turning him, hitting him, stepping to the side, and then stared him down. I said, oh, this is all night right here. This is Roy. Round two, a little bit of the same. And then he made that mistake. And Tony, when I heard him in the corner talking to Buddy, all he kept saying when Buddy was talking was, he's going to effing respect me. He's going to effing. He said it like 4 times. I said, this guy, he eats, sleeps, and shits Roy Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then round two, bing. And I'm sitting there like, oh, he going to get up, ain't he? And then he got up on his form and then fell forward. I said, he ain't going to make it. So my boy's standing there, right? And he's sitting down, right? And he had food in his hand. So I looked at him, right? I said, okay. Do you remember what else happened that night? My boy is a notorious Laker hater, right? So I said, all right, you know what? I grabbed the remote. I turned the channel to the Laker game. They're playing the Spurs. Inbound Derek Fisher. He throws it up, all net, and ran off the court. Lakers beat the Spurs. And my boy's sitting there. So we turn back to the fight, and Roy's standing there accepting his L. So my other boy says, wait a minute. Roy got knocked out. The Lakers just won. He said, nigga, you got a present. Yeah, I just fell out laughing, man. But I told Tony that story. I said, yo, you broke a lot of hearts, bro. But that's boxing. After that loss, I got kind of that same aura. Did that KO loss completely take away the aura of invincibility to Roy? And then the Glenn Koff Johnson fight happened right after that. So what do you think? With is it the same situation with Deontay?
Yeah, it definitely does affect a fighter like that when he's knocked out. And plus, I believe it's the boxing guys intervening in the fight to let a fighter know it's over. Their reign is over. Roy had reign for 20-some plus years. Everybody have a script in life. Everybody has a time to shine and the time for the next person to come and take over. Deontay had 10 consecutive, 42-0. He was approaching Rocky Marciano. Whenever they get close to that, funny stuff happens.
Yeah.
Funny stuff with Larry Holmes and the other one. Tyson should have did it. You know, yeah. Roy should have went 50-0. Roy tried to do everything that Mayweather copied after him. Roy was on the path to do that. Roy was a great fighter. I didn't believe Antonio. It crushed me too. Few fighters that lost like Deontay, I was, tear emotional because they didn't deserve that, in my opinion. I believe it was an act of the boxing gods. So that's why I always was more vocal for the small fighters or fighters I felt like was getting cheated as far as technique, that's why I was always apprehensive about that. I'm always trying to improve a person, even though they might not understand it,
Yeah.
because I know what they setting them up for. Just like in my neighborhood, I see what they do to the young men. You know, I've been there, done that. So I try to give them game and foresight, not hindsight, because everybody
Right.
got it, but
Right.
foresight. So when that happens to them, you know, I'd be crushed because I know what happens. And with Roy and Tarver, that's why Tarver's career, even though he was successful, he still would never be as popular as Roy. You know, some fighters like Holyfield would never be as popular as Tyson. I didn't believe Holyfield could beat Tyson. So I just believe it was just the changing of the guards of the boxing guys when it happens like that. So with Deontay, it could be that. It could be his moment. Who knows? Only him and himself and God, because he is a religious man, what they've been telling him. You
Yeah.
know, he might have had a certain date and certain time. So it could be that. So you have to take all that into consideration. Deontay had to sit down and refocus and think about it if it is true. But he could get those last few fights just to clean the rest of that little money he can get under Bomb Squad and hopefully get AJ, or if AJ beat Fury or whatever the case may be, if he want to continue to go through this. But after last night, seeing his wife crying and the new business ventures, and like what Deontay said, he don't care about boxing. He built his estate, so I wouldn't be mad at him if he retired or whatever he did. But you know, it's certain things when it happens, you have to pay homage to it because it happens in drastic and in a devastating way. Just like with Tarver with Roy. It was like the boxing guy speaking. You gonna have any excuses tonight, Roy? And Tarver
Yeah, that was
always.
crazy.
So
That
it
was
looked like
crazy.
it was something else. Even though Tarver is a good talker, but his skill wise, even as a young amateur, I didn't think he could whoop Roy because I think Roy whooped him when they was 13. Tarver was always a second class citizen behind Roy, and that's what fueled him to start his career to keep going. So that was a script within itself written by the boxing guys. This guy jealous of you, he come back to slay you. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
sometimes that's the boxing script. You know, Ali and Frazier, you know, for them to break Ali down for 3 years, then put him in there with Frazier, who've been constantly fighting. They slow Ali foot movement down to beat a guy that style wise, he cannot beat Ali. So, you know, that's how life goes sometimes. But that's why I'm not mad at Deontay or disappointed. You know, he improved himself. He fought like a champ should. And
Yeah.
that's how it goes. You know, sometimes the script of life is bigger than us. Just like
Yeah.
my script. You know, all the script when I started on YouTube, people didn't know I was trying to help everybody. They just thought I was a joke. You know, people clown me. I knew what they was doing, but I knew with wisdom and knowledge will override them.
Right.
And my love for the sport will override them. And that's how I got connected with Sam Watson. Give a shout out to him. That's how I
Yeah.
met
Salute,
Fred.
salute to Sam, man. Salute to Sam
Yeah,
Watson.
yeah.
Yes.
So you know, I knew that. So me, I couldn't be a prideful person. I read every comment, like I'm gonna look at every comment. I'm always trying to improve. When people tell me, "Oh yeah, do this," or you can do this better, I always take heed of it and stuff like that. So I'm always a student of the game. So definitely, it hurts me when the real fighters lose and the way they lose, and I know it's more bigger than them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for a fighter like Floyd to come along, in my opinion, who wasn't as good as Roy, to have the success that he had, in my opinion. So, you know, it's a hurtful feeling, you know, especially, you know, as a black man, you know, when we trying to strive and get the breaks that we do. So definitely. So I see it all. So me, I was hurt. I didn't want D to go out. I wanted it to go to decision. I can
Yeah,
handle
me
if he
too.
lost. Because I had predicted on champ side or brawlers that it was going to the decision. It looked like it was making it, and then that last one, I was just, oh, I was just like, yeah, people don't believe it. Yeah, I was like, oh, I was crushed for him. Yeah, happy, happy he did good, but still crushed for him to go the way it did.
Yeah, man. I feel some kind of way, man. And salute to my brother Thomas. He said, I could be wrong, but is Wilder the only heavyweight champion to knock down every fighter he has ever faced? If that's so, that's a great accomplishment. Yeah, everybody either knocked out or knocked them down. Either knocked them down or knocked them out, man.
Yeah.
It's a serious accomplishment. I mean, look, this is it's tough, man.
But this is growing for the Wilder fans, people in general, and it's a learning. This the emotions, like Ecclesiastics say. It's a time to win, a time to cry, a time to rejoice, and time to try to move forward and get better. So, we could take our hats off to Fury if he won. This it comes with the territory. That's why I love when two fighters, after they fight each other, the respect that they have for each other. You was the better man tonight. But hopefully it didn't take no fight out of them. If they want to do a fourth fight, or if it ever came about, Wilder would still have that same, energy to fight again or whatever. But, you just have to take your hat off to some people. Some people can best you or whatever, the situation. But I just believe it was more a technical, but you just got to learn to live with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm just wondering what's next, and I want the safety for my brother because we love him, man. We love him, man. And
but he had said, I didn't mean to, but I remember one time in a video, if I'm not mistaken, he said he was gonna fight till he was 40. But that was then. But sometimes spiritually, they put stuff in your mind and you don't know, and sometimes it come out like they did with Roy Jones. Roy Jones was like, I ain't gonna be fighting till a certain time, and he ended up doing that.
And fighting until he's 50, for Pete's sake.
Yes. So sometimes if you go back into I'm hearing the echo. But sometimes when you go back into listen to a fighter, it'd be like a spiritual saying, and all that stuff come to pass. Yeah. So
hold on. Keep talking. I'm gonna try and fix this echo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he probably still has a lot of fight left in him. I'm thinking he still do. And plus, if the money's right and the opponents, Andrew Ruiz and Wilder will sell huge still. Wilder come back, he can fight. Just had a little tournament. He could put himself in the PBC tournament, like I had said before. That would be something to reinvent itself, to work on the kinks, the technical flaws that he has, and then practice on that against certain fighters. And then after AJ now finished, maybe it could happen. Yeah. So me, if he don't, he can retire. But me, I remember I thought he said that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fight because he started late. So plus with the money value to clean it up for generational wealth, he has a lot of money now, but he still could get more. It could be more business deals, still left on the table. So me.
Well, here's my take on it. The New York Forever, I see you, brother. Here's my take on it. Deontay Wilder, for those that are like wondering, whether you're wondering out of general concern or, he don't have to come back. He don't have to. Listen to the language. He doesn't have to come back and do these Triller events for the sole purpose of money. He's good. Trust me when I tell you he's good. He's not out partying and turning up in Vegas right now at the strip club, making it rain. That's not who he is. He's a homely person. He's fine. So that's not the issue. My issue is like with most fighters, fighters are fighters by heart. Y'all know I talk to Freddie Pendleton often. I just had, excuse me, Tim Witherspoon. These guys, if you say, yo, look, give you 100,000, fight tonight, they'll do it because that's who they are. They'll do it. They'll fight for $5. Some of them, you know what I mean? It's in their blood. It's very few fighters that say, yo, look, it's time for me to walk away. My health is intact. I can still speak a proper sentence. It's time for me to walk away. You know, and what we're talking about right now, based off of what I saw, I'm factoring in punch resistance, wondering why he couldn't execute like I thought he would. I'm questioning what was going on with his cardio after the second round. This is concerns of me. And right now I'm talking about the brother's safety. I'm not talking about dollars and cents. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm wondering if it's time for him just to say, yo, look, that was it. All right, I fought one of the biggest heavyweights in the history of the sport, and I didn't get it done. I got mine off because he dropped Fury a grand total of 4 times in this trilogy. Okay? He could have easily won in round 4. If he had another 30 seconds, he could have easily won. But again, maybe winning wouldn't have been the best thing for him. Please understand what I'm saying. I'm going to reiterate that point after the super chat. He said, notice they don't talk hype of Usyk like Fury. I wonder why. Them Russians and Ukrainians ain't with that racism. No, they're not, Drake. They're not. But what I'm saying is, in reference to that, please understand, this is a concern of safety. You ever said something? You gotta love something enough to let it go. Now, whatever D decides to do, I'm riding with him. But at the same time, you know, I would be that voice saying, yo, bro, I'm riding with you. But are you sure? Because I don't like watching that reaction from you. This guy couldn't hurt you. And then he cheated. And now he's hitting you with the same stuff. And now it's taking effect. You understand? Are you sure? I'm riding with you, but are you sure? Because I want the brother to be safe. This is not coming from a place of I'm worried about his pockets and nothing like that. I'm talking about safety. This is a dangerous sport. Maybe the dent in his head from the blunt object, and again, I stand by that. Maybe the dent in his head is something that can be fixed. Granted, he's not boxing anymore. But once you knock someone out or knock someone down, it's easier to do it again. Roy Jones, after that Glenn Johnson fight, his chin was never the same. It was easier. All you had to do was touch him. And that's just science, man. And after what we saw last night, it was annoying. It was sad to watch, but it happened. And I see y'all in the chat, you know, horsehair gloves, all of that plays a role. The man was cheated. Make no mistake about it. But now that that's happening, and I'm not going to talk about what's happening behind the scenes, but now that that's happened, now we have to understand. Now we have to wonder: were the effects that bad enough for him to just say, "Look, my career's over," before I get hurt? Yeah, because that's what I don't like. You saw Tommy walking through the MGM yesterday. I see him all weekend. Tommy, I adapted up with him. I got some information from his camp. You know, maybe I'll get him on a show. But that is from the sport, and you know what I'm talking about. That's from the sport. Yeah. So when you're dealing with people that can actually do things like that, it's worse when they manipulate their gloves and put stuff in their bodies, and that's bullshit. You shouldn't have to do that. And that's our problem with Tyson Fury. And I'm never letting that go. Salute to Shin C in that super chat. He said, great points, Drew. Second fight did lasting damage. And that's what I saw this fight. The second fight did lasting damage. The second fight did lasting damage. That's my concern. My brother's safety. Can y'all say the same? I'm not talking about money. All right. I'm not talking about, I think he beats a lot of heavyweights, but that's granted. If I don't know how he's going to react if he does get hit again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I feel about Dillian White. But what happens if he's kicking Dillian White's ass? And you know Dillian White likes to get up off the floor and still fight.
Yeah.
All right. What if he knocks him down and and Dillian gets up and then he throws a wild right hand and hits D in the neck? Now, 3 years ago, the fight, the punch would have bounced off his neck and he'd have been fine. But now that spot is soft, now Dillian hits him and now D's falling all over the place. And we back here again. No, man. I'm concerned about the safety. But I'm riding. Whatever he decides to do, I'm riding with him. You see this shirt? I'm wearing it proudly. Whatever he decides to do, I'm riding with it. But there is a concern there. And he has to, whatever he decides to do, whether he's saying, yo, look, that wasn't me, or whatever we find out moving forward. But these are things we have to take into consideration. They tried to do some nonsense with the gloves. Again, this guy, Fury, his reputation speaks for itself. Y'all always know that I say time reveals all truth. Okay. There's a lesson happening here that the universe is showing us, and it's never on our time. And I don't mean to get all spiritual on y'all, but it's never on our time. But things happen and we have to sit back and say, yo, damn, why did that happen? But you always find out later why it happened. There's always going to be people who say, well, what happened because, Deontay just sucks. If you want to say that, if you want to say, 42 wins? Highest knockout ratio in the history of the sport? You want to say he sucks? Fine. You got to live with that because it's not true. You don't get this far not knowing how to box. And regardless of what anyone says, I did see the changes. I did see the changes in the first couple of rounds. Oh, yeah. But the fatigue set in, the punch resistance wasn't there. Those are the things that we didn't think about, to be honest, because he's had a good gas tank all this time. Yes. So I never thought that after round 2, he's breathing. And I'm like, what's happening? And then he's getting hit. And then he's like getting knocked off balance. And then he's going back in a straight line. That was fatigue, man. That was fatigue. Okay, so if Tyson Fury doesn't make it out that 4th round, we're celebrating the win. But trust me, I would still be here saying I saw flaws because I'm honest about it. And if we love this brother, if we love boxing, we have to tell the truth. I'm not concerned what trolls are doing or what they're saying about us. We have to maintain integrity over here. I'm not concerned about what people are doing. And we have to be honest and honest enough to tell the truth. Now, I wish his continued success, and I'm not going nowhere. I was texting Malik, yo, everyone good? You good? We walked with his sister back to the MGM. She had a whole security team walking with her, and she didn't even know it because she was like, my brother just lost. But we was walking as a group. So when I say it's family, it's really family. We ain't playing games. You dig? I put money on it and I lost it. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my brother's safety. So now that they said he's good, now I want to know what's next. This is just, Esai said 15-second count. I missed it because I was in the emotion of it. When he got knocked down, I jumped up out my seat when Fury got knocked down. Did Andre Ward mention something about the count being a little too long? Because I missed it. I'm being honest with you. Y'all gotta educate me on that. Was there a long count?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I missed it. I'm gonna go back and look at it. I'm gonna go back. Everyone's saying it was a long count. Everyone said it was a long count. 15 seconds. I'm gonna go back and look at it.
Wow, 15 seconds. Oh
15
yeah.
seconds. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. Here we go again with this long count stuff, man. But referees. Oh, no doubt, Steve. Okay, I'm gonna look at it after this, Steve. No doubt. Appreciate you. Right. I was too busy. I jumped out my seat because I really thought it was over. I really thought it was over. And then when he dropped him again, I said, he's done. And then the freaking round ended. And I said, damn. But understand, maybe this loss was a good thing. Maybe this loss was a good thing because I'm going to tell you right now, I'll take this. Because everyone thinks Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. You know what I wouldn't be able to take? If Dillian White snuck one in on him. No. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I would have a problem with that because I don't like Tyson Fury. That's no secret. And I equally don't like Dillian White. Because he's a raccoon. That's just point blank, period. He's a guard dog. And he's not that good. You know what I mean? Salute to Stephen Lamar Hawkins, man. He said, plus the timer on the TV is proof. Oh boy, they're saying a long count. Bro, again, you see, Eric, this is exactly where I was last year.
Yeah.
I said, look, my guy lost. I don't want to hear nothing. People kept hitting me with emails. They say, no, look at the gloves. Look at the gloves. And then when I buckled down and I looked at it, I said, yo, what the hell's wrong with his gloves? And I said, Danny said he never did that to anybody. What the fuck's going on? And then it escalated. And I stand by that. It happened, man. We're right. I keep telling y'all, the reason why the arbitrator leaned in Deontay's favor was because the evidence more towards his favor was not only because documentation beats conversation, but he provided medical evidence. Look, this injury inconsistent with a boxing glove. But now we're in a space where a boxing glove could reactivate that injury. But the injury was there because, like, if you've broken your leg in the past, now you could walk normal, you might be able to jog. But if you get into a fight and someone kicks you in the bad leg, it reactivates everything. It wasn't a bullet this time, it was a kick. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe D is there with the dent and the nerve in the neck, and I need him to be safe. But this is exactly where we were last year. After the fight, now we're finding stuff out. I'm gonna go look at the timer, man. And I did hear Andre Ward say it. I heard that in the arena. Someone was talking about it. It's like, yo, Dre said the count was long, and I heard it, and I said, man, I was just so emotional that I was just like, I don't want to deal with that. Maybe I'll deal with it next week, but I'll look at it, man. But as usual, I hope there's no controversy because I don't want to go through another year of bullshit. And I need boxing to be clean for once. I don't like this do you understand that this controversy is bad for boxing? You ever had a conversation with a person that eats, sleeps, and shits MMA? All they talk about is how corrupt boxing is. It's disgusting. I don't like having that conversation, man. It sucks, man. LeRon, I see you, brother. So, yo, I ain't gonna hold you much longer, brother, man. Yo, thank you, bro. Thank you
for sure. Yeah, definitely.
I wanted people to get to know you. Before I go, explain to me how this whole Wilder hater situation got started and what happened when you actually met the brother.
Well, I travel all over for boxing with PBC Sam Watson. I had met Fred through Sam, and then from Fred I met Blue Blood, Boxing Eagle. I always watch their channels. I watch all y'all channels. And I finally got a chance to meet him. I was happy. I was like, oh, man, I watched their channel. So I'm paying homage. Plus, I did videos with Ellie Setback way back in the days. Ellie was the first guy I did videos with. Ellie had hooked me up with Gary Shaw, the promoter was on the East Coast side. Ellie got too big. He didn't want to hook up with me. Our rhythm was a little different. So I said, maybe Fred, since he's with Sam, we got that connection. This would be perfect for me to propel me to the world. So it started off. It was beautiful. I tried to always get in Fred videos, but he would never let me. Man, how you gonna jump in my video? So one day, me, Blue Blood, and Boxing Eagle, we in Brooklyn, New York. We going to that place, Sam's Pizza, that was on Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
And we got to talking. We was all in the car, and they said something about Wilder fighting Brazil. I said, man, the technical side, I didn't think they was going to videotape me. We just having a conversation. I said, the technical side, Wilder needs to improve. I said, I have Brazil to beat him. I was saying that. So all of them pulled out their videos. So I'm talking. It was a good conversation. It was a good flow. And another guy was, I forgot the dark-skinned guy, but he was there this weekend too. He saw me. He showed me love too. He remembered the car share. He said, you wasn't a hater after all this. So from that point, you know, me, Fred, Blue now, they did the video. Wilder liked it. You know, they made a good joke of it. Wilder knocked Brazil out. He was looking for the hater. You know, it was beautiful. So Wilder was still on his horse, but I still stayed behind the art of boxing and kept telling people. And then I said, so me and Fred started doing good videos. So it was beautiful. I met Champs I all LDBC through him. It was beautiful. It was a nice camaraderie. I loved it. I was building material to come put on this show. I was just excited. So, and then once it got close to Wilder fighting, I guess somebody must have told him, don't do videos with me no more. Something to that effect. Because I guess I started giving out details because all of a sudden I wasn't able to do videos no more. So plus I saw a lot of comments from Blue Blood. They were saying I was from the dark side, and you know, it was just it was a lot of crazy stuff. I read all the comments, and I was like, all the love I put in trying to entertain the folks. I was writing poems, doing all kind of stuff. But I never got mad about it. You know, it just made me inspire me more to do more. But I hated when me and Fred broke that, you know, that connection, because we was perfect. We was like Cisco and we was like some food. It was fun. But, you know, it was a joy. So me, once I met Wilder, that was a joy. You know, Wilder is a beautiful guy, a nice guy. That's why I was so heartbroken. I was rooting for him. I wanted the best for him because he definitely is a nice guy. He definitely didn't deserve how, you know, the media and everybody portrayed him. And, you know, it's a dirty business. So that's why I was touched. That's why when I didn't want to give a prediction when Champs side, but I said you got to do the right things to win, because boxing is muscle memory. So me, that's why I was, you know, just happy for him. And I'm happy that I think he will continue, because the other guys he really don't have to worry about. The other guys, style-wise, I'm willing to say right here, 100% Wilder get those guys out. You know, if he's not hurt or nothing like that, based on Wilder's style, those guys won't be able to compete with him on the stylistic matchup. So he definitely can. If he want to continue, he will be successful. So me, I just loved every aspect of it, you know, just coming and traveling for boxing. So that's how it was. And I was hurt when Fred and whoever the people thought I was a bad guy, that all the love I have for the sport. So I always ask Fred, dang, I hate that you stopped. I even called him before I came to the Wilder fight. I was hoping he would have at least came to the, you know, just being there to support. But, you know, it just goes like that. But me, no, I'm still doing it. Yeah, I'm going to be all over. I'll be for 4 more fights this year. And then I'm coming to New York probably for Richie Comey to support him. That's my guy against Vasil Lomachenko. So I'm rooting for Richie. But, you know, when it comes to top rank, it's the money deal over there. They're going to pay Richie good money, maybe to fall in or whatever, but I'm rooting for Richie Comey against Vasil. So I definitely will be there for that big one. Yeah, so I just love the sport. I always loved it.
No doubt, man. Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate those.
Okay, anytime, baby. Yeah.
We definitely gonna do it again, you know. And it's about the sport, man. It's about the sport.
It is. Yeah.
I'm glad that people got to know the man behind the nickname that they gave you. You know what I mean? They have a better understanding now. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
And,
I always wanted the best for Wilder. I always wanted the best for any boxer, because a boxer has to be able to take criticism to order to grow. And plus, your trainer only sees and knows what he knows. Your trainer, as a fighter, any fighters out there listening to this, any fighter posts okay, if a guy on YouTube shunning you, talking mess, say you don't do this right, do that right, you don't have to discredit him. You can challenge your trainer. Sometimes fighters have to interact with their trainers and say, what is this guy talking about? He said, I don't turn, I don't do this. So sometimes your perception is your deception. You can challenge them. You can challenge them on a more of a boxing level communication, and then that's where you can separate the people. You can say, well, they don't understand, or your trainer don't understand. Because as a fighter, when you get in that square circle, you want everything to make you a better person. And listening to people too, even if they're negative, is a positive too, because both of them go together. It's just how your interpretation. And you got to do your homework. Whatever size you are as a fighter, I want you to mimic and look at Tommy Hearns when he lost and got knocked out, when he won, what he did successful. When Sugar Ray fought taller guys, what did he do? I need you to do your homework yourself, not just your trainer. You have to invest in your growth into the sport of boxing, man. Because some guys will tell you anything, and that's what I hate about it. I don't try to discredit no trainers, but I'm here to help. And with the social media now, you can help people by putting on illustrations. That's why when I came up with my YouTube channel, I wanted to show illustrations so the fighter can understand it better, what he's doing wrong and right, so he can watch himself in the mirror. But you have to be open to grow. And
what's your channel?
My channel is Boxing Guru 1 TV. Boxing Guru 1 TV.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they stopped doing videos, because I loved it when I had like a person that asked questions and we go back and forth on a boxing level as far as understanding, so the audience could get a clearer take. Sometimes they don't get a clear take with just me talking. So I have to illustrate. So me and Fred and Champside, the ones I did videos with, was perfect because they facilitated. They was good in what they did. And then when I came back, what I did was perfect. So sometimes you need that. And as fighters, you have to understand that. You have to reach out for others, not hating on your trainer, but you got to understand what you got to do right. And just like it was hurtful for J-Rock to lose to on the undercard, that was a hurtful, it was bad. He still hasn't learned, he's in between styles. So yeah, fighters definitely got to invest more onto mental aspect of boxing than just the physical aspect. You got to sit down, do your homework, man. You got to watch Sugar Ray, the 5 top guys. How they moved around the ring. Why is he moving? You got to understand, why is he moving? Why is he not punching? Why is he doing the things he's doing to offset the fighter? So fighters definitely got to do, it's like school. You got to put that time in, man.
And it's not coming from a place of hatred,
Yeah, exactly.
Coming from a place of love, because you know what? If I know what a fighter is doing wrong, and I feel that I could demonstrate something to make it successful, but I don't like him, I ain't gonna say anything. I see a bunch of things, for example, that Dillian White is doing wrong.
Oh yeah.
But if I was in a position where I could say this is what he needs to do, I'm not gonna say anything. Go on and jump in that ring and keep doing what you're doing, because I want to see your block get knocked off. I'm saying that for an example. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
but if I can say, yo, look, bro, this is what so-and-so's doing. He needs to do this and that. That's love.
Yeah.
That's love. You see, silence. When you know there's something you can fix, silence is bad. But I appreciate you, man.
For sure. Thanks. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, baby.
Drink more water. His sister told me that his hand was broke yesterday. His sister told me. So yeah. But yo, man, we definitely gonna do this again. Everyone go subscribe to your channel. You know, it's boxing, what is it? Boxing Guru?
One TV.
Boxing Guru 1 TV. Everyone go sub, man. Salute to everybody. Salute to the chat, man. Yo, we gonna chop it up definitely. I'm definitely gonna be in touch, especially when you in New York. Hit me up, man. We'll get up, definitely.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, anytime, baby.
No doubt, me. Much love and appreciation, man. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody. Now I'm working this thing on this phone for the first time. Next time I'm bringing my tablet, my laptop, and because this was a giant pain in the ass with this phone. I got so much stuff I'm doing. The damn thing keep resetting, and this is all weird. But y'all know what it is, man. Much love and appreciation, E. And it's
sure.
the Bomb Squad over here.
Oh,
and,
for sure.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Shout out to Eric Neighbors. And we gone, family.
For sure. All right, Drew.
No doubt.
Move!